Good morning, Steve Freed in Chicago with the morning grain calls. Well, we had a lot of volatility yesterday on low volume, and we continue to see volatility overnight. Got nearby soybeans up, led by a higher soybean oil trade. Yesterday's soybean oil was up the daily price limit on about three factors. Number one, seems like demand for world vegetable oil is increasing and supplies are tight. Number two, it would look like our soybean crush here in the U.S. might begin to slowly decline as the soybean supply also declines, which could reduce the supply of soybean oil. And number three, continues talk in Washington, the administration looking at clean air for jet fuel. The only feedstock that's available for clean air feedstock is soybean oil at this point in time. We also saw steep losses in corn. Some people thought that was some liquidation of open positions as we get closer to month end, quarter end, and USDA March 31 report. Wheat was kind of mixed at the end of the day. It was lower. Again, some good weather across the southern plains has given a steep drop in prices since the recent highs. Yesterday, export inspections for corn were good at 77 million bushels. Beans may be a little bit better than people thought at 18 million bushels, while wheat was better than expected at 24 million bushels. We also had a private group come out and say that farmers this year will plant 94 million corn acres, almost 90 million bean acres, 45 million wheat acres, 7 million sorghum acres, and cotton acres around 12 million. The corn acres were higher than expected. The bean acres a little bit lower than expected. And as far as wheat is concerned, we just have to watch and see if the Northern Plains spring wheat farmer plants the wheat given the dry conditions. We also noted that they said that prevent plant acres will only be 3 million acres this year versus 9 million last year. And there'll be 21 million acres in the CRP versus 22. So it's a total planted acres of all crops of almost 320 million acres versus 307 last year. So we'll see if the farmers want to plant that many acres. We'll see if the weather cooperates. The crop size for next year was estimated at 15.5 billion bushels in corn, 4.5 billion bushels of beans, and 1.9 billion bushels of wheat. And so even with those bigger numbers and bigger acres, the carryouts only increased maybe to 1.2, 1.3 billion bushels in corn and 135 million bushels in beans. It puts a lot of pressure on U.S. summer weather. As far as South American weather is concerned, we're looking at some dry conditions in Brazil. Good for bean harvest, but could put a little stress on their larger second corn crop. And Argentina's been getting good rains that pretty much peaks out the stress that they had seen earlier. Dalian futures, except for soybean meal, are all sharply higher. And then we saw that Louisiana corn plantings are 52% done, while Texas is 38%. We did see that the USDA increased wheat crop ratings. We've got Kansas now at 45 versus 38 last year. And a little bit of talk about some winter kill possibly in the Russian southwest corner of their winter wheat areas. As always, these are my thoughts, not those of ADM Investor Services. Have a safe and profitable trading day. And remember, always treat people like you yourself would like to be treated.